Consideration on page 50. Looking at one of the side quotations in the book here, it's about body feel. We're talking about body feel during attack and defence. So I want to just briefly read a little bit out and try and explain to you as best as I understand Bruce's original writings that have been compiled together in this book, Bruce Lee. And let's see how we get on. So, alright, so it says on the side quotation, you should be able to make your moves at walking pace if necessary. So Bruce says. And then we come on to body feel suggests the harmonious interplay of body and spirit, both inseparable. Now, physical, there's two elements here. It talks about body feel during attack. And it says you should consider balance before, during, after. BDA, before, during, after the attack. You should consider your body feel before, your balance before, during and after. So your balance has to be right. Otherwise you're going to be all over the place. Your weight has to be distributed precisely. So you haven't got too much weight on the front foot, too much weight on the back foot. You've got a good centre of gravity. When you punch, you will put your weight into those punches. We'll be doing other videos on how to punch later on. So body feel during attack. Consider balance before, during and after. Then it says consider an airtight defence before, during and after. So you want to be able to be ready to deflect anything that's coming your way as you're about to attack, so that you can be readily there for a counter if necessary. Then it says, learn to cut into the opponent's moving tools and limit the ground for his or her agility. So you want to learn to cut in when you know something's coming in, like Filipinos do. When the punches come in, what they do what you call a destruction. So as soon as they can time that punch coming in, they guide it in and they go, boom! Right on the elbow shot, if you can time it in. That's cutting into the tools. If you can use a destruction. Now there are videos that I've made talking about destructions, which I will be putting up. But as I say, the punch comes in, but it's right up there. Catch it on the elbow. In JKD or Jeet Kune Do, prominent instructors call this the defanging of the snake. So you're defanging the snake. So you want to learn to cut into those tools. Now you would do this very quickly. You would anticipate what's coming your way. Whether it's a punch, whether it's a kick, whether it's a leg attack if you're wrestling, whether it's a jiu-jitsu takedown. You learn to cut into your opponent's tools when they move forward, anticipating the attack. And it says consider aliveness. I've already said this, you need to be alert, alive and aggressive. You need to give that mean look out. You need to be completely alert. I always talk about this in neuro-linguistic programming terms when we talk about sensory acuity. That means reading your opponent very carefully, reading the way they are thinking, reading the way they are moving, reading the pattern of movement, reading the replication of the pattern of movement. You need to become a good reader of body language, and that means using sensory acuity skills of studying opponents. Now you can do this one way, and that is only if you have multi-sparring opponents. Don't spar the same person every time. Change your partner. Go with somebody else. I know someone that's somebody that has just won one of our Midlands titles, British titles in MMA, and he says to me, I go to Holland. So I've been going to Holland, I've been going to Thailand, I've been sparring with the guys over there. I said, what happens when you go over there? He says, they annihilate me. He said they beat the crap out of me. But the way I look at things is I'm there to learn. He's so all right, the way I look at it, I get beaten up and I'm there to learn. The more I get beaten up, the more I learn. So his consideration is, well, I'm going there and I'm learning. So it doesn't matter one thing, remember this as well, it doesn't matter if you are getting beaten up because you are learning. I trained with the wrestlers, the English wrestling team some years ago. And they were throwing me all over the place. I was a stand-up fighter. It went for about 2 years. They were throwing me around until I learned the technique and mastered it. Until I learned how to sprawl properly. Until I learned how to move properly. Until I learned how to grapple properly. And then it stopped. Because I improved my skills. But these guys were good, as I say, they were British, national level. Some of them were going to the Olympics. They were damn good wrestlers. So when you go into some of these gyms, you want to consider you're not there. Yes, you might get pulverized, but you're learning something. You go there, your outcome is to learn. So consideration of body, field and attack, again, I'll remind you, consider balance before, during and after. Consider airtight defense before, during, after. And I want you to remember BDA, before, during, after. And then learning to cut into the opponent's tools. You want to learn to cut in. If he's going to throw a kick, you're going to cut in and find out what to destroy. There's ways of stopping those kicks coming in. There's ways of stopping those punches coming in. There's ways of using destructions on those attacks, which we will be talking about, which I have talked about already. And also, consider aliveness. I'm adding to this saying, be alert, be alive, and be aggressive. I thought this part of body feel, just 4 points there. If you could integrate them into your sparring schedule, because I'm talking about making you a better fighter, I'm talking about making you a better wrestler, I'm talking about making you a better jiu-jitsu guy, I'm talking about making your skills sharper. If you can integrate these 4 points, just think about, become aware, become conscious of your unconscious competence.